from Mila, I feel like Eva's conversation with Mary didn't go great either. That's a really great point. And I think we've had a lot of conversations about jury management, especially from the players still in the game, which is super interesting because that does not happen every single season. And it's been very overt. Camilla's brought it up at multiple tribal councils. Chris brought it up at a tribal council. Mary brought it up in a confessional. And I think, again, I think that's what I was saying earlier. I think bringing up the jury, literally talking about jury management while the game is going on, and us and the editor showing us this, I think is another indicator that we're going to have a very emotional jury voting based on maybe social rather than strategy or strength. And especially when Eva was having the conversation with Mary, basically saying like, we're like, there's nothing you can do. Or like when she said at tribal council, like, there's nothing anybody can do. Just like very odd social kind of like an odd way to play the game from my perspective.
Yeah, I thought that conversation with Eva and Mary was so weird because, okay, I guess like honest, whatever, but I feel like you're being a little bit too honest where you don't want to say, I'm not going to play my idol for you. Like, there's no shot I'm going to do that. I'm going to, like, whether you're going home, it's like, she's like, I'm not going to help you either way. Like, it's so weird. So it's like, what's the point of us even having a relationship at that point?
Yeah. Yeah.
And even, sorry, go ahead.
No, go.
I was gonna say, like, it was a similar thing with like Mary's conversation with Joe. Like, that also wasn't a great conversation. Like, I feel like both of those conversations would have rubbed me the wrong way, where I'd be like, what, like, how do you want me to feel about this? Like, how would you feel if someone came to you with this conversation?
Yeah. And I think that this was probably used and it just wasn't shown. I think that when Joe won immunity, I think this would have been a very good case for Mary and Star to use against Eva, because basically, and maybe from like Mitch's perspective, or Camilla's perspective, like they're like, maybe that doesn't matter to me. But Eva is immovable when it comes to her alliance. She is not somebody that is willing to work with anybody else ever. And so if you're Mitch, or if you're Mary or whatever, you're talking to Mitch and you go, hey, Joe and Eva, they're a duo. They are tight. Eva wins final immunity. Do you think that Eva is going to bring anybody other than Joe? She is immovable in that alliance. There's nothing you can do. So that means you are forced to make fire. And whether you want to make fire or not, don't you want to have that kind of conversation? Be able to appeal to the side of them saying like, we are not able to work with her. We need to split the vote on her. Whereas everybody else seems to be, and I think that's the downside of being super honest and super upfront, because that means that people know, hey, you don't want to work with me. No one, like, why can't we make this work? So that means I can't work with you. So it's just like, I think that is the argument they could have used. Maybe they did and we just didn't see it, but it was just like, she's just really hard to work with if you're not in her alliance.
Yeah, which is kind of yeah. Eva is someone that you can't work with if you're not Joe or in that alliance. But it's funny how we see like Mitch saying like, I can't trust Star, I can't trust Mary, when there are people who like you can work with and are willing to, work with you and do things, where Eva's never going to be willing to work with Mitch for something.
Yeah.
Like,
and I also think like that's a very good point. Again, because I just feel like in Survivor, if you can't trust Mary or you can't trust Star. So let's talk about Mitch. Let's focus a little bit on Mitch a little bit more, because his big thing was, I can't trust Mary and I can't trust Star. I think specifically he said, I can't trust Star, which is why he needed to go for Star. Or I can't remember who. It was one person he was really like, we got to go for her.
Yeah.
And I think it's very interesting because in the game like Survivor, you can't trust anybody. And I know that you have to find somebody that you can trust, but there's nobody that you're going to be able to trust 100% of the time. And I think this season, we're seeing people really move away from voting blocks, especially in this later time, and them not being willing to vote together just for now. And we have to vote together for the long term, which is, I think, very interesting. And I think it means that we're going to, see this alliance stay together, continue forward,
Mhm.
which I don't know that I'm going to love. But it's just like, why don't you just vote together for now and then figure it out later?
Yeah. Like, do you think you need to have full trust in people to work with them, even if it's just for one vote?
Exactly. You just have to figure out something with one vote. And like I said,
Mhm.
what is the difference between 6th place and 8th place? It's like 10 grand,
Exactly.
20 grand. It's a lot of money. Like if I was given 20 grand, I'd be like, that's a lot of money. But
Mhm.
if you feel like what I really don't think people are thinking about what they're gonna say at final tribal council. I really don't.
Yeah. That yeah, that's why I felt like watching this where I think I would have gone to Rocks in this situation because if I'm going out, at least it's gonna be an interesting way to go out. At least it's gonna be something fun to watch and at least you tried doing something
Mhm.
versus just being picked off boring in the next episode, you know? But
Okay,
it is a tough situation for that
it's a tough
because
situation, but it's just like,
and the odds were against them
I
because
just
they
really don't understand what like, I get that we're seeing the whole story, but it just to me feels like and I wanna focus it I really think, like, this strong four is playing it really well.
Mhm.
Versus maybe Mitch isn't reading the situation properly. That it could totally be true, but, like, I think that
Mhm.
means that the strong floor these 4 people are just really doing a good job at selling, "You are a part of this. We promise you're a part of this."
Yeah. Yeah, I really wish we got to see, like, more of those conversations, like, why does Mitch feel so secure in that, you know? Like, we saw he was upset that Kyle didn't take him on the reward, like,
Mhm.
why did that not carry over more?
Yeah, I don't know. It's very interesting, and I don't know if you saw on the press release for this next episode, there's actually gonna be a journey.
Ooh.
Yeah, so somebody's gonna go on a journey, which is gonna be very weird, and I hope there's no lost vote this late in the game. That'd be crazy. But I hope the journey shakes it up. I'm really rooting for the journey. You won't hear me say that often.
Mhm.
I'm rooting for this journey, man. Shake something up. But thank you so much everybody for tuning in and chatting with us. Even if we didn't love the episode, we love talking about the episode with you guys.
Yeah.
Um, as always, you can find me on the interwebs. I'm at Survivor Simulation on TikTok and at TechWith on Instagram. But if you just look up my name, I'm there. And Kara, where can people find you?
At XOX_Kara on Instagram.
Love. And, we have a really great week coming up with just our
Mhm.
amazing normal content on Survivor Now. As always, the after show right after the episode airs. We also have the pre-show on Wednesday. I believe that's at 7 o'clock. Got something
Mhm.
for you Saturdays at 3 p.m. Survivor Stock Watch is going to be Thursdays at 8 p.m. And obviously, you're going to finish out the week with us Survivor Social Sundays at 8 p.m. I believe we have a guest this coming week. So please keep an eye out to the Survivor Now podcast Instagram to see who that guest is. And we are, looking forward to seeing you guys then. Thank you guys so much for chatting with us. And as always, don't forget to stay social. We'll see you next week. Bye. With me. And